Good afternoon. It's May 3rd, 2023, and today we had a range day that turned into a sell-off late in the afternoon. Um, what I think happened is we got like two legs down, and then it went a little further than that second leg. Let's see if let's see. Um, I guess you would start it up here. So yeah, I mean we bounced a little right there, but we just kept going. Um, so there were a few good trades, not a whole lot. There might be something in here that I didn't see earlier, but prices were really just range bound early on, so there's probably nothing in here. So let's see, 5 o'clock. There was all types of news items in here today, uh, but you do bounce right here. You get like a triple test with a doji, so you can't take that. And then we're just going sideways, and there's nothing in there. It's failure right here, but there's so much. It's in the middle of a range. You don't want to take that. And then it really just takes off, and the breakout fails. So maybe you consider this one, but the signal bar is a doji, so, and that's a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's inside bars. I don't think you could take that. That's congestion. And then we get a failure right here, very bearish, but it's not the high of the swing, so you probably don't want to take that. And there's a news item in there, so yeah, I think you want to lay off that. Then you get a second entry right here, and unfortunately this is a lot of overlap, but that's a second entry at the highs of the range, so that's worth considering. And then we get confirmation of this channel right here, and it kind of looks like a second entry. This kind of looks like one leg up, first entry, second entry. Technically it's a third entry though, so it's not a great setup. Then you get a first entry, second entry, but then you're going into the lows. We break below the lows, and at that point it looks like we're probably going to test this low, but no setup, and that creates an overshoot of the channel, and we come back, find some resistance at the midline, and technically this, well, it looks like a second entry. I think the second entry formed on this bar, so I think you got to lay off that. This kind of looks like a double bottom, first entry, second entry, and that'd be like a double test of this midline. But I feel like that's really pushing it, and we just got an overshoot. So it comes down, hits the measured move, and then they trap a bunch of people going short right here. And then we come and back, and you get a second entry actually off the trend channel. This one's definitely worth considering. However, we got this overshoot, and that usually is going to lead to the break. Especially this had a feel of a range day, so that's why I'm going to mark this green. Otherwise, if we didn't have the overshoot, I think that'd be red. So you do get a first entry, failed second entry. That's a nice signal bar, low risk, 6 ticks, confirming that trend channel. It's near the lows of the day, so I marked this green. I feel like this is blue. And then we just start going higher. And then you get a hidden second entry long off the trend channel, but it's not the low of the swing, so I mark that green. And then we continue higher. And we're at the highs of this channel. That brings us into this news item. And you can see prices went crazy. We tested the low of the range a couple times before we went higher. And get a break and a move to a new high. Well, it doesn't look like a break like that when you draw it like that, but it looks like a break when you draw it like this. So break, couple legs up to a new high before it reverses. and there's no way to get in on this. And you can see we get a leg down break, 2 legs to a new low, and then it just comes back up to the highs, move up, break, a couple legs up to a new high, and then we come down here and you get a lower high. I like that entry. Just a lower high from the lows, and we're near the highs, range highs. Come up here and you get what's technically a second entry short. Maybe you consider that. I'm not crazy about this one. Especially that's looks like congestion. So I don't think you want to take that. And then we get a double test down here. Well, really like that's like the 6th test. Very bearish bar. You can see we've clearly had 2 measured legs down. We clearly had a break and move to a new low. So this one you might consider for sure. All right, so we bounce and congestion. We come hit the highs or the measured move of this range. Come back, test the lows of this range. And then we come back up and you get a second entry short. That's a lower high. And this could have gotten you a really big move down. I like this one in real time. So why would we stay out of this? Well, this is not very clearly a break and a move to a new low. It does look like it, but I mean, you could easily argue for the trend channel to be like that. Whereas over here, this is very clearly a leg down break and a move to a new low. So that's why this acted as a trap. So we get the break, move to a new low, and then it chops further down, and then you get this trap to the long side. People thinking, okay, well, we break out to the low side, it's going to fail. So you want to be really careful there. We get a second entry. I don't think you want to go short here because this could be a failed breakout. But when you get this super bearish lower high, I think you want to go short there. That's a nice setup. And then we come down here. We're making new lows. And again, you get a first entry, second entry right there. So you get that double test off that price level and a lower high again. Very bearish. It's a repeat pattern. That's a good setup. And that brings us into the end of the day. It really is just congested from there on out. And we sold off some more, created a gap in the after hours. So that's how I saw it today. I hope everyone had a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow.